often be able to create your tests about twice as quickly using Hexawise. In this video, we will show you the process you will use in Hexawise to generate your tests, describe how this Hexawise process is fundamentally different than the process you probably use today, and explain why it is often twice as fast to create your test sets using Hexawise. Here's how test generation works. Generating tests with Hexawise is an inputs-first process. We're first going to define our inputs or the different variation ideas. Next, we're going to generate our overall Hexawise test scenarios, and then finally, we're going to transform our Hexawise scenarios into actual executable tests. Once you define your model of test inputs inside of Hexawise, any changes you make to the model level will be instantly reflected in your generated tests. With the click of a button here, Hexawise automatically generates the most powerful set of test cases based on how you have defined your model of inputs or the different variation ideas. In addition to generating powerful tests within seconds, Hexawise will also enable you to create detailed stepped-out tester instructions, whether you want to create a set of detailed test cases for manual execution or you want to create a detailed set of test scripts for automated testing efforts. Hexawise has an autoscript feature that allows you to write one single detailed test template, like you're seeing on the screen here, that will then be exporting your entire set of detailed tests all at once. As you define each of the steps needed to execute a test case, you can insert your parameter placeholders from your inputs inside the steps. Along the way, you can also define any parameterized expected results that should be triggered when particular parameter values are chosen in test cases. Let's now see what happens when you export your Hexawise test plan. In this sheet within the Excel exported file, you will see the one parameterized skeletal script that you built inside the Hexawise AutoScript screen. Then, if we look at the AutoScript sheet here, you will notice that once exported, Hexawise's AutoScript feature will automatically take that single parameterized set of tester instructions that you built inside Hexawise and immediately apply it to every single one of your generated Hexawise test cases. If you look at these steps inside the exported file, you will see that Hexawise has inserted the appropriate parameter values for every test case in the correct test step, and also has included any defined parameterized expected results. What are the implications of using this feature? Well, every time this will lead to significant time savings in test planning and documentation. Hexawise will instantly generate hundreds or thousands of detailed test steps for you after writing just one script inside the tool. Using previous methods, it would take teams days to document executable test cases. In traditional methods of test creation, tests are identified by hand one at a time, and thus documented one at a time as well. Of course, this traditional process takes a brutally significant amount of time. Many man-hours are spent solely on this process, not even considering the amount of time it will take to prepare these tests for execution. In this example, imagine that there are 1,500 individual test steps that have been written by hand, one by one, using traditional test creation methods. If we assume that it takes a test designer 1 minute to write each step, then it would take a team a total of 25 man-hours, or over 3 business days, to create these steps. With Hexawise, you will immediately solve these issues through a simple and intuitive process. Hexawise has a fast, multi-step process to test creation and documentation. First, you define your system model with the critical variation ideas. Then, Hexawise will instantly generate a powerful set of scenarios for you. Then, using Hexawise's auto-scripting capabilities, you will be able to quickly generate actual test scripts for your execution efforts, whether those efforts are manual or automated. These two areas are where the significant time savings happen. One of our insurance clients recently carefully measured time savings during test creation. They found that they were able to reduce their test creation time by almost 2/3. How did they save so much time? Let's dive deeper into the results from this insurance company. After completing their benefits measurement for the test planning phase to analyze the difference between traditional and Hexawise approaches, they found that they were able to spend 65% fewer man-hours, or 57 hours using traditional approaches versus 20 hours with Hexawise. Diving even deeper into the results, they found that they actually spent more time in Hexawise in two key areas. You will initially find that you will spend more time critically analyzing and thinking through what you will be testing and developing a deeper understanding of how your system under test works. Hexawise's inputs-first approach to creating test results leads to spending more time upfront identifying and designing appropriate inputs for your testing objectives. So be aware that there will be a little extra time spent analyzing and understanding up front. However, the team spent significantly less time with Hexawise in numerous key areas during test planning, including less time and effort spent during test documentation using Hexawise's autoscripts, during test review with Hexawise's clear, insightful coverage reports, during test data creation, and during the process to making updates to regression tests, because changes to the inputs model results in instant updates to tests. Every time you use Hexawise, you will realize significant time and effort savings during the test planning phase.